Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Linker, and I'm an account manager with AQL Technologies. And welcome to our webinar on ServiceNow technology workflows licensing. A little bit about us. We're a Microsoft Gold and ServiceNow Premier Partner. We've been in business for nearly 2 decades. We do a lot of work with federal, state, local governments, as well as Fortune 1000s and some nonprofits as well. We are GSA Schedule 70 certified, Small Business Association certified, 8A as well. We have over 5,000 successful ServiceNow projects, over 100 plus ServiceNow deployments, and we do over 100 plus consultations on ServiceNow per year. And we have over 200 plus certified ServiceNow experts. I would like to introduce my co-host for this webinar, our ServiceNow practice lead, Sameer Mohammed.
Hey guys, my name is Sameer Mohammed, and I'm going to be walking you through the licensing in today's session.
Great. Thank you, Sameer. So a few quick webinar rules. We're going to have 4 sets of polls. Each are going to run for about 40 seconds. So if you could answer those to the best of your ability, that would be great. And then if you have any other questions, comments about ServiceNow, please feel free to type those into the chat. Okay, everybody, this is a little bit about what we offer on ServiceNow as well. We've been doing staffing on ServiceNow platform for the past 8 years, so we can help you with vetted and experienced ServiceNow resources. On the consulting and implementation side, this is for any of your project needs that just maybe are time and material based. Other than that, we have a managed services program. Sorry about that. On ServiceNow, where we come in and help your ServiceNow resources, by complementing their skill sets, helping them with some critical operations like upgrades, CMDB optimization, CSM compliance, and a lot of things which are built under our managed services package. You can buy a few hours from us, which don't expire for a whole year, and use them towards any of your ServiceNow needs. And finally, we have our own product and ServiceNow platform, which is the request for expenditure approval product. So we had built this right into the ServiceNow platform. We've been getting downloads of it globally. So now I'm going to hand it over to our ServiceNow practice lead, Sameer Mohammed. Sameer?
Thank you, Steve. So once again, my name is Sameer Mohammed, and so I'm going to walk you through this whole licensing. The ServiceNow licensing. ServiceNow licensing is not the most friendliest, but it's definitely something that we do a lot of work in, and I would like to share some of those experiences today. So the agenda of today's session is we're going to walk through ServiceNow. We're going to walk through the ServiceNow licensing. And by the way, this webinar is focused more towards technology workflow licensing, focused on ITSM, ITOM, and ITAM. So, and then I'm going to walk you through, some of the ITSM licensing packages, and also give you an overview of the product in itself. The same applies for ITOM licensing, and then the product overview, and then ITAM licensing, and then the product overview, and discuss some of the challenges and how we help out. In the end, we can go ahead and talk about some of the popular questions around licensing. So let's take a look at how AQL can help you with your licensing needs. So number one, we have a whole batch of solution experts on pretty much all the products, and this is where our knowledge comes in from the implementations. We listen to your requirements, we understand what you're looking for, and then really go back and map that towards the ServiceNow products, and then really come back and then give you, go over, like the list of ServiceNow products. And also not just that, we also help you with ServiceNow roadmap, which is pretty much we help you with, hey, if you want to buy ITAM, ITOM, and ITSM, or any of the products, CSM. So how does that happen? I mean, what is the best approach for implementing some of this? So this is really what we do. We come in, and then from our experience, we help you implementing, like creating a roadmap for implementing all of these different products that you might be interested in. Also, nobody likes audits, but if ever there's a ServiceNow audit, we help you with any of the audits, and also help you optimize any of your licensing needs. And when it comes down to any of these licensing needs, it can be, anything like, for example, hey, if your licenses are under allocated, if your licenses are over allocated, so how do you actually deal with, situation like that. So we really come and help you with that. If there's any kind of users who are, maybe approvers, maybe fulfillers, and I'm going to talk more about these approvers and fulfillers in a second. But if let's just say that if they're not even being used, so how do you go ahead and make sure that you constantly monitor them and you basically, if there are no active fulfillers, if these fulfillers are not being actively used, then just go ahead and deactivate them. We help you do that and also provide you with alerts, a month, couple of months in advance before renewal of any kind of subscriptions. So this basically helps you a lot. And finally, users who have not been active for an extended period of time, but are still being active, I see that a lot. So help you, proactively, work with your licensing to have it more optimized. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at, one of the last things is, with the purchase of licensing from us, we also offer our product, which is expenditure, which is a request for expenditure approval product, which is built on the top of ServiceNow platform. This is a great product, and these are some of the features built on it. It's a CapEx application, and it has dynamic approvals. It's approval by groups or individuals, and like a lot of financial packages like Oracle or Microsoft Dynamics 365, it requires like an in-depth implementation. And if you want to have that for everybody in your organization, it costs licensing, right? So this product is very niche focused on the expense approvals part of CapEx, and with this product, you can actually give the licensing to the whole organization. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. That's a great part about it. It's got dynamic approvals, dynamic notifications. It's a great product, configurable and customized to your needs. So let's get started with the first product, which is ITSM. So let's go ahead and talk about, what are the different features or tools built within, or the applications built within, ITSM, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. So this is all about the ITSM. From the left, what you can see are all the way to the right, all the way to up in the top is basically the ITSM standard package. What follows after that is the Pro package and Enterprise. So as you know, and if you don't, then this is going to be a good introduction to ITSM. ITSM refers to a set of practices and tools for delivering and managing IT services. It helps handle incidents, service requests, problems, and changes, and a lot more. So ITSM features includes also tools for ticketing system. You probably might have heard a lot of that. Self-service portals, knowledge bases, automation workflows, and using you can actually use ITSM for, as you can see, incident management, request management, problem resolution, change management, service request fulfillment. And these are pretty much the basics of all the ITSM tools. And let's go ahead and take a look at these apps built within it, starting from the left: incident and problem management, change and release management, service catalogs and request management. Remember how you go in and then you basically request like a laptop, or any kind of devices in your company's portal. That's basically, the whole, catalog items that you're requesting. Asset and cost management, walk-up experience, digital portfolio management, employee center. And so employee center is basically the place where you can go ahead, and it's a portal where you can go ahead and request all the information and get all the help that employees need, like for example from HR, for IT and other departments. So it can be a central portal. Users can ask for services like getting a new software installed or reporting when something isn't working right. It's designed to make it easy for employees to really get the help they need and find answers to the common questions. So this is pretty much, service operation workspace. This is pretty much all part of the standard. Now, part of the Pro is, starts with virtual agent. And as you know, virtual agent is the first line of defense for all kind of customer service these days. And if you top of virtual agent with artificial intelligence, which is, which is AI, and you can actually have a lot of questions answered before your customer service need to even attend to any of those calls. Predictive intelligence, it's all the AI. Performance analytics, and performance analytics is also a great tool. It's basically, it provides a visual representation of data to forecast and observe trends, so that resources can be allocated efficiently, and you can generate these insights using performance analytics for pretty much all the different products in ServiceNow. And then, DevOps, change velocity and DevOps configuration, continual service improvements, vendor manager workspace, dynamic translation. So these are pretty much part of all the ITSM Pro. And then ITSM Enterprise has got process mining and workflow optimization. So these are, pretty great set of tools, that your organization can utilize for really improving efficiency. Now, on the top of that, if you can actually see in the middle, these are all the features that all of these tools provide. And now the most important one that I personally think is CMDB. And CMDB, as you know, it's heart of ServiceNow. So CMDB stands for Configuration Management Database. It's a centralized database that stores information about all the components in an organizational IT infrastructure. This includes like hardware, software, network devices, applications, and the relationships with each other. Wouldn't that be great? Like even defining the relationships between all of these components. Like if you have your server, if you have your application, SAP application set up, and if you can see what are all the servers or is all the infrastructure, which the SAP service relies on, wouldn't that be great? That's all stored in CMDB. And we're going to see pretty soon what are some of the products which can create that mapping. So the CMDB helps IT teams track and manage IT assets, understand dependencies between components, and support IT processes, like incident management, change management, and a lot more. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the licensing for ITSM. And as you can see over here, ServiceNow offers these licenses under, and this is specifically for ITSM, under two different models. One is role-based user licensing, and the other is unrestricted user licensing model. And so let's go ahead and talk about the role-based. It comes in, so it's basically for requester and then business stakeholder and then fulfiller. So requester is basically, the users who raise incident tickets or service requests and access the knowledge base, through the self-service portal. And the best part is that the requester users, they don't require any kind of subscription. The business stakeholders, also known as approvers, this role is typically used for users who need to review and report on data, but don't perform any day-to-day operational tasks. And the fulfiller, so these are basically users who resolve user requests, create records, modify records, and implement more such tasks on the platform. Now let's go ahead and talk about the unrestricted user licensing. So this unrestricted user licensing, it's a simplified model that offers unlimited access across the whole ServiceNow platform. So it has no restrictions on role assignments. And the number of active users is determined by the number of unrestricted user licenses purchased. So every active user becomes an unrestricted user. And that's why the role-based licensing is more popular over the unrestricted user. And so the role-based, and also, like for example, the approver, which is the business stakeholder that you can see over here, it applies to ITSM, and you can see DevOps, SPM, CSM, TSM. So a lot of these workflows basically rely on the role-based licensing. So now let's go ahead and take a look at these, the ITSM packages. So these come in primarily 3 different flavors, and you can stretch it up to 5. ITSM Standard, Pro, Pro Plus, and then Enterprise, and then Enterprise Plus. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So standard, as we have just seen, anything that you really need to get started on ITSM is part of the standard. If you are looking for, and by the way, there's also Virtual Agent Lite built within it, which basically is very basic. It includes some very basic topics. ITSM Pro, this is, from what I have seen, the most popular ones. It also includes, in lines of what I said, performance analytics, virtual agents, predictive intelligence. So a lot of, DevOps change velocity. So a lot of, great tools over there on the ITSM Pro side. On ITSM Enterprise, as we have seen, process mining and workflow optimization. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Plus, the ITSM Pro and Enterprise Plus. So these basically come with Now Assist. And Now Assist is a ServiceNow product which uses generative AI to enhance user productivity and efficiency, through conversations and proactive experience. And Now Assist can be used for, can be purchased for ITSM and this summarizes, it uses the intelligence to really summarize the incident information, generate incident resolution notes and summarize the chat. So a real great option. And as you can see over here, it comes with, Now Assist for virtual agents, Now Assist in search, chat summarization, incident summarization, incident resolution, notes and generation, now assess panel and GenAI controls. So with that being said, as you can see, ITSM standard is included with some of these other products as well. And this is what why I think that it's very, it's a very good thing for organizations to use, ServiceNow partners who have got a holistic approach on the whole platform in itself. Because that's when we can actually guide. As you can see, ITSM standard is included with some of these products. So you don't really have to go ahead and buy it separate if that's your roadmap of buying something in the future. So CSM, HRSD, PSDS, FSO, TPSM, HCLS, OTSM. So these are some of the ServiceNow products. Buy any flavor of these, and they include ITSM standard. The ITSM free add-ons are, Integration Hub Starter, which is basically for integrating with any kind of third parties. You don't have to go ahead and do a lot of custom programming. It comes with a lot of these, integration tools built within the Integration Hub. And then plus AI Search Starter. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about ITOM. And this is one of my favorite products in the ServiceNow suite. And pretty soon, I think that you will begin to realize the value of this. So this is pretty much so ITSM. I think that ITSM is a great product in itself, and it basically streamlines IT infrastructure management through products like discovery. It's got automated discovery built within it, event management, cloud management, and aids enterprises in acquiring a comprehensive understanding of their entire IT infrastructure and notifying of problems before they rise. It lets you visualize dependencies, correlating events, automating workflows, and optimizing cloud resources. So, and ITOM integrates with other ServiceNow products, really for the IT service delivery and ensures proactive monitoring. And so some of these services that you can see over here, ranges from ITOM visibility, and ITOM visibility includes discovery, and which gives you a holistic view of your operations footprint across on-premises data centers and cloud. And so you can basically unleash discovery to crawl and get a list of all the infrastructure within your environment, and it could be all the different locations as well. It's a very interesting way the way it does it. And the second thing is service mapping. And this is what I was talking in the beginning, where hey, you have an SAP service in itself, which is being offered, to several different departments in your organization. But the thing is that you want to know what is the different infrastructure that this SAP service that you're providing is based on. So service mapping lets you map the relationship between all those IT infrastructure, all those IT components, and the business services, so that you know if any of the hardware goes down or if SAP service is experiencing any kind of issues, you can potentially look into those servers on which it depends. Service graph connectors are the predefined integrations that ingest data into CMDB from third parties like like security, server, software for monitoring, IoT, and a lot of other third-party tools. Firewall audits and reporting. Track firewall policies and perform proactive audits. Certificate management is to discover, itemize, and proactively manage your TLS certificates. Event management is to reduce the event floods from monitoring tools and gain insights into business service health. So predictive AI ops utilizes AI to really forecast and manage, IT operation issues before they arise and even fix them. Cloud account management simplifies the provisioning, configuration, and optimization of cloud accounts across multiple providers. Cloud observability provides real-time insights into the performance and health of cloud-based systems and applications. Cloud migration assessment, it facilitates the evaluation and planning of migrating on-premises infrastructure to the cloud. And cloud configuration governance ensures cloud configuration standards and policies are upheld. And finally, the agent client collector gathers data from agents or client devices to provide insights into the organization's IT environment. So it's a whole different, it takes ServiceNow to a whole different level. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the infrastructure, the product architecture over here. So the ITOM product architecture facilitates a collection of data into CMDB. As you can see over here, everything that's happening, it's being pumped into ServiceNow. into CMDB, and a lot of applications are built around, your optimized CMDB. So data stored in CMDB gathered through discovery and other tools and is utilized across various products, ITOM, ITSM, ITAM, SPM, and just CSM, and just pretty much just name it. This includes, functionality such as service mapping, hardware asset management, which is ITOM, software asset management, and a whole different suite of, applications over here. So let's take a look at the licensing packages over here. So it's ITOM Operator Professional and ITOM AI Ops Enterprise. And professional includes pretty much everything that we just saw, ranging from App Engine Starter, ITOM Health, ITOM Visibility, which includes discovery, service mapping, and all those things, performance analytics, predictive intelligence, spokes and protocols. And AI and ITOM AI Ops, it includes Health Log Analytics and ITOM Cloud Visibility. And Health Log Analytics analyzes log data from IT systems and applications and detects any kind of issues and optimizes performances, enhances service delivery. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the subscription model. So the subscription model over here is a little different from what we have seen in ITSM. So ITOM subscription units typically refer to the licensing model used to access the various components and functionalities of the ITOM suite. These subscription units are usually based on metrics, such as the number of managed services, monitor events, or the size of the managed infrastructure. So what you see over here illustrates the ratio between subscription units and the managed IT services. So one subscription unit is basically a one server over here. So there's a mapping of one-to-one. But whereas with platform as a service resources, which might be stored in Azure, Google, AWS. So it's three of those resources is equal to one subscription unit. For networking devices, it's 25:1. And again, these could be switches, routers, firewalls, load balancers, and a lot of, and those things. And the end user computing devices, these could be laptops and desktops, that's 4:1. And containers, which are, usually operating system level virtualization, these are 10:1. So subscription unit is the licensing unit, that you need to purchase for ITOM. Okay, and ITOM is included with some of these products over here with telecommunication service operations management. If you buy any of these different flavors, you basically get the ITOM features included as part of that. Okay, and let's go ahead and ITOM features are included with ITOM Engine Starter and ITOM Visibility with OTV. So by the way, so we were talking about the CIs, and CI represents, a manageable component of an IT infrastructure as it's stored in the CMDB. Okay, so these, in line with what I was saying, these components can be anything ranging from hardware, software, or any other item that is relevant to the, to the delivery of IT services. So let's go ahead and take a look at ITAM. So ITAM is, is it basically enables organizations to efficiently manage the life cycle of IT assets. So it provides features for asset discovery, inventory management, software license tracking, procurement, and compliance. And ITOM involves ensuring that an organizational assets are accounted for, deploying, maintaining, and upgrading assets, disposing of assets when necessary, using asset data to maximize returns and minimize risk, and in return drive increased business value. So it basically gives you visibility into what you have and where is it and how much does it cost. All right, so it basically comes in three different SKUs over here: SAM, HAM, and EAM. So SAM is basically software asset management, and it facilitates the tracking, evaluation, and management of software license rights, compliance, and optimization. Working in conjunction with other ServiceNow platform products, ServiceNow licensing rights can be requested, procured, managed to software contracts, and allocated to users or devices and reclaimed. Actually, I'll even give a demo of that pretty soon, showing ITSM. HAM is basically hardware asset management. It helps organizations manage their physical IT assets. This includes tracking information such as asset details, ownership, location, warranty status, and maintenance history. And this is basically just all of your hardware, whereas SAM is pretty much all of your software. Now, the very interesting one is AM over here, which is enterprise asset management. It includes assets such as machinery, equipment, facilities, and infrastructure. So AM is basically used to handle tangible assets, while SAM and HAM manages digital resources. So, different laws and regulations have detailed requirements about the management of assets, including safety, privacy, and accessibility concerns. So there's a high risk to not accounting for these assets. And that's where AM, is extremely crucial. It enables organizations to track these asset details, maintain schedules, work orders, and service history. And basically, and you can use devices like IoT devices and sensors, to really, incorporate all of that analytics, into EAM. And these are countless types of assets a company can oversee, including, fleets, devices, machinery, pipeline, facilities, consumable, leased equipment, and mobile items as well. So if it were, facilities, like it can be used for facilities like offices, education, public sector facilities. They can use AM to track the building systems, furniture, operation and equipment inside and on the ground as well. So it's a great product. And let's go ahead and take a look at the different licensing needs over here. Different licensing packages. So SAM comes in two flavors: professional and enterprise, whereas HAM comes as professional, and AM also comes as professional. Okay, so SAM basically includes everything that we have that you basically need to get started. SAM professional, including app engine starter, asset management, performance analytics, and definitely software asset management as well, predictive intelligence, and software spend detection. And enterprise comes with cloud cost management, as well as machine learning normalization, which can be used for better accuracy in license management. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the subscription model over here. So just like ITOM, and unlike ITSM, this also sells as subscription units. So, and the mapping to devices is 1:1. So SAM is server is 1:1, end user computing devices is 4:1, and software and SAM subscription users is 15:1. Whereas on the HAM side, it's basically app engine starter, and then asset management, hardware asset management, indoor mapping for assets, performance analytics, and predictive intelligence. And so this is the way that this maps also is, a subscription unit, which is 1:1 for server, 4:1 for end user computing, and 5:1 for networking devices, and mobile devices is 10:1. So a flexible unit. So, and once again, subscription unit is that flexible unit which is used to measure the customer management of various types of IT resources, and this is how it needs to be purchased. Uh, and let's take a look at AM. Again, a very similar set of services, but it includes the enterprise asset management product. Okay, and so this sells as EAM operator as a role. So this is role based, and EAM operator is any user who may contribute to or may be part of an EM application workflow process within the subscription product. So instead of selling as subscription unit, this sells as a role. And so HAM is included with telecommunication network inventory, and AM is included with clinical device management professional, and asset management is included with ITSM, FSM, and CDM, OTSM, and WSD. So asset management basically comes with ITSM as well. And so now let's go ahead and talk about custom tables. So, custom table is any table created or installed by the customer on the ServiceNow platform for any purpose, including making custom applications as well. And so if you just purchase it by the piece, it comes with a certain cost, but some of these custom tables are included with these products. And ITSM includes 25 standard, professional 50, and enterprise 50 custom tables. ITAM includes Professional 5 and Enterprise 5. SAM includes Professional 5. HAM includes HAM Professional includes 5, and EM includes Professional includes 5 as well. So other than this, again, once again, if other than this, if you want to buy more custom tables, you got to buy them. ServiceNow screen over here, so hopefully you can see. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. And so this is an overview of how ServiceNow looks like. This is I'm logged into ITSM, and what I'm showing you right now is the ITSM. So what I'm showing you right now is the ITSM, incident management. And you can see that there is, sorry, there's a lot of light on my face. So yeah, so these are the list of all the incidents. I can click on new, and this is going to open up any kind of new incident. I can fill out everything, customize all of this as well. That's a good part. But let's just say if I were to go back and take a look at any of these incidents. So let me go ahead and open up the incident over here. And this is the list of, pretty much, this is the list of the details of the incident in itself. And it's going to go ahead and show you pretty much just everything that an incident has in it. Let me go ahead and also show you. And also the thing is that the good part is that, once an incident has been entered, then there could be SLAs assigned to it behind the scenes, and the incident will follow the process, like assigning to the right department and user, and monitor any kind of SLAs as per the definition. So users can request incidents through Service Portal or through Employee Center also. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the change management over here. So this is the change management screen, and change management offers a structural method for managing the lifecycle of all changes, of all alterations that you might have. Each change request follows a series of steps to complete the process. You can see here that the list of approvers who are part of this change request as well. So let me go ahead and open up this very specific change request that I have. And if I scroll down, I open the sub change request. It goes through several different stages. And if I scroll down, I can see a list of all the approvers also. Isn't that great? Like if I need to, change a certain highly critical server, and I put in a change request, and it goes through all the different approvals, before I do that. That's the right way of doing things. I'm a big fan of ServiceNow change request. And now let's go ahead and take a look at, request management. And so instead of showing the request management directly, I'm going to go ahead and take you to the, employee center over here. So request management enables initiation and fulfillment of catalog items according to predefined workflows. So what you are seeing over here is an employee center homepage. You can search here for request, open it, fill all the required fields, and then submit it. This will create a request and requested items, followed by fulfillment tasks to finish the request process. So let's go ahead and request a laptop. Okay. And I'm going to click on, so it shows me a list of all the catalog items which are available. And then I click on standard laptop. And so this is the catalog item. And now I'm going to go ahead and order it. So it tells me whom am I ordering it for. And I'm going to say that I'm ordering it for Adam Ringo. Click on checkout. And now if I click on the item over here, it's going to show me the RITM number with which this requests were created. And this request basically goes through any kind of process that I have defined behind the scenes. Okay, so a really great tool. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. I could just pretty much spend the whole day just demoing, ServiceNow ITSM in itself. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and change my screen and go back and show you some more information about licensing. So let's go ahead and talk about subscription management. So as you can see over here, so this is a dashboard for subscription management. So this, you can actually use the screen for basically reviewing the subscriptions that you have. ServiceNow provides this tool out of the box. A lot of times, users can just go ahead and, just monitor your subscription by yourself. But the thing is that if you are proactively doing it, you're going to save quite some resources on it. As you can see over here, it shows you, all the different screens like subscription like subscription status, and then what's been allocated, and then unmapped application with custom tables. Down at the bottom on the left-hand side, I can see the different subscriptions that I have, and then I can see the duration of the subscription, and then I can see what I have purchased. Okay, like for example, on the ITOM side, I have purchased 300 licenses. I'm sorry, ITSM side, I have purchased 300 licenses. Out of that, allocated, there's only 220. And remember how you talked about custom tables? So this comes with 25 custom tables, and there are none that are being used. So ITOM visibility has been purchased over here. And so, which is the allocated is actually the purchased subscription units are 250. Out of that allocated is 120, and the tables include are 5. So this is basically a high level overview of the subscription, overview dashboard. So at AQL, what we do is that we monitor this proactively, on a monthly basis, and we generate reports to you, and then we show you of where you can actually be saving some licenses. You know, the integration hub also that you see over here, it allows organizations to manage integration resources efficiently. It provides a centralized repository or pool of integration resources, such as APIs, connectors, scripts, and reusable integration workflows. So in brief, so these are some of the, the licensing packages for, ITSM, ITOM, and ITAM. And we come across, when we work with clients, we come across these standard, licensing challenges that they're always facing. They don't really have a precise requirement of the licenses in itself. It's challenging to ascertain the license requirements, both before and after implementation. You have something else in mind, and then afterwards, when you go live, you begin to realize that either you're under allocated or you're over allocated. And selecting the appropriate package subscription is very crucial. And monitoring of the usage of acquired licenses is always inadequate. That's what I have seen a lot of times. And then the distribution of licenses is not appropriate. So these are some of the licensing challenges, and I'm gonna hand it out to Steve for any kind of questions.
Okay, everyone. Well, we have some popular questions that we would like to get answered by Sameer, to give us his take on the whole ServiceNow licensing.
Definitely.
So our first question is, how can a customer purchase a license for ITSM or any other products on ServiceNow?
So pretty much the thing is that you can purchase the licenses directly from ServiceNow, or you can purchase it from some of the partners who specialize on those products that you're looking for. So when working with partners like us, we just don't have in-depth knowledge of the product from all our implementations that we have done over the years. But we also might have, some of the services that we offer with it. Like for example, hey, make sure that your licensing is optimized. We make sure that we prepare you for your audit. And then plus, if you have any kind of free products, like we give out approval for request for expenditure capex application included as part of some of the licensing, which is over a certain threshold. So in
Great,
brief, feel free to buy it from ServiceNow or from us as well.
great. Thanks, Sameer. So our next question, how can subscriptions be managed in the instance?
So I think so in lines with what I just showed. So that's one of the most popular tool for looking into the subscription overview. You can go to the subscription management overview dashboard, and it's out of the box, and proactively monitor your licensing right from there itself. It does a pretty good job, as I had just shown, about showing allocated versus what has been purchased and what is being used as well in there.
Great, thanks, Sameer. Yeah, I hear this question a lot. How do I determine which ServiceNow package that I need?
Yeah, that's again, some of the challenges associated with clients onboarding ServiceNow. So one of the things that we do with clients is we try putting a roadmap together. What is the client really looking for? It can start with ITSM, it can, and it can be ITOM, and it can be ITAM, it can be CSM. So the thing is that I think that it's really sitting down and creating, and looking into the requirement that you have, looking into what are some of the potential, might be legacy applications as well. Some companies have legacy ITAM applications that they probably might want to replace that in the future as well. might have some legacy applications like Cherwell, or 7H for ITSM needs as well. So are we talking about, so what's at stake over here? What are some of these? What are your business requirements? So I think that and this one of the most important things. Get the whole team together and then sit down and write down what are you looking for in ServiceNow, because ServiceNow is an extremely big product. And the thing is that you might end up buying everything, or you might not end up buying anything, or you might end up buying some of these products and not even use that. So what matters is a proper roadmap, and then we help you with setting up a roadmap as well.
Great, thanks, Sameer. Our next question is, I would like to get started with ITOM visibility. What license do I have to buy and in what capacity?
So ITAM visibility, that's one of the most popular products, the popular, set of products in ITOM. So it covers discovery, service mapping, and several different products. So I think that, so if you want to buy ITOM visibility, then, go for ITOM, Pro, ITOM Professional. It's going to include ITOM visibility.
Great, thanks. So our next question is, oh, this is a good one. You mentioned something about a free AQL product that you offer, request for expenditure.
Right. So it's a request for expenditure is an AQL product which we have developed on the top of the ServiceNow platform. It includes, we might have done the same product for several different organizations over and over again, and we finally created product out of it. And it's used for a part of the CapEx application, which is request for expenditure approvals. It includes several different, dynamic approval levels. It includes customization of the approval fields and a whole bunch of things for getting your request, your expense request approved in a very optimized manner.
Great. Well, we have time for a couple more questions. Our next one is, what license do I need to get started with CMDB?
So yeah, with CMDB, it comes as part of ITSM standard in itself. So if you're buying, anything, it's the core requirement for ServiceNow for ITSM. You end up buying CMDB, and ITSM, ITSM standard includes CMDB. So without CMDB, there isn't much which can actually be, really done over here. As I said before, it's a centralized database that stores information about all the components in an organization's, IT infrastructure. And I think that it was one of the pull questions as well. How optimized is your CMDB? And so that's one of the things that we do. We come in and then monitor your CMDB, making sure that your CMDB is optimized, above a certain threshold, and we keep monitoring that on a regular basis.
Great. Well, we have time for one more. Our next question is going to be, do I need a license for discovery if I'm using SCCM?
So no, not really. You can discover CIs using either ServiceNow Discovery or SCCM, and let's not forget that uh, that Discovery is a licensed product, so which you need to purchase as a separate licensing. So it comes as, so you need to buy that licensing. If you're using Discovery, if you have a CCM, you can use that as well.
Great. Thanks, Sameer.
You're welcome, Steve, and thank
Okay.
you for asking all those questions.
No problem. So I guess this is just about going to wrap things up.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for attending this webinar. Looking forward. Please don't miss the other series of licensing webinars that I'm working on. Thank you so much for attending it again, and have a great day.
So if anyone has any questions about ServiceNow in general or about licensing, please feel free to reach out to me. We help companies across multiple industries maintain ServiceNow licensing and really get a return on their investment and help them leverage ServiceNow to the best of their ability. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sameer. And I hope everybody has a great day and is able to attend our next webinar. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.